So because he made greater than 500, he's put in a tax bracket of 15. But if we look at Derek, for example, Derek only made $240. Because that's less than 500, he only gets put in a tax bracket of 12%. The next column here, this is the G column, is tax deduction. So let's look at Jonathan. So what I've done here is Jonathan made $600, but he's placed in the 15% bracket. So he's actually getting $90 taken out. So what I've done here is the formula E5, so that's 600 times F5, which is 15 divided by 100. The purpose of dividing it by 100 is so that it's converting it into a decimal. So now it's 15 divided by 100 equals 0.15, and then 0.15 times 600, $90. The H column looks at the net pay. So this is what they get to take home. So he made $600, but he lost $90 worth of taxes. So therefore, Jonathan's only bringing home $510, whereas Tessa is bringing home $380. So up here we have the date. So you can tell by looking at the date here, we go from the 2nd to 14th or the 16th. This program, or this payroll system, is meant for bi-weekly. So I have the formula here set up that your today's date, but I've also done down here, we've looked at today plus 14. That makes it your 14 pay period. So it's just taking the 14 days and adding it from October 2nd to October 16th. Now, if we jump down to the bottom here, we're looking at different formulas for max, minimum, the sum, and the average. These are all things we've looked at before, and we're just going to add them into our payroll. So the max here takes the max from C4, which is $15.50, all the way to C10, which is 18. And it tries and finds the highest value. Well, the highest value is $26 an hour, and that's with Steven, so it puts $26 down here. The minimum does the exact same, but for the opposite. Instead of going highest value, it's going to find who has the lowest value and put it down here. Well, Derek has the lowest value, so Derek's name goes here. Or not his name, sorry, his amount goes here. The sum just takes the formulas equals sum, C4, C10, just takes all these values and adds them together. And then our average, as we talked about before, equals average, just takes the average value, so it's adding them all up and dividing by how many we added up by. So this goes across the board. We see it for here and here as well. Max, min, sum, average, and over here. So when we look at this, it says that the average person makes about $16.93 an hour. The average person works about almost 35 hours a week, and they get about $612. But because of tax reductions of being $88.95, the average person only goes home with about $523. So this is a very basic spreadsheet. When you make your own, it's not going to be like this. I'm hoping you're going to add more in, make it look nicer by adding images and that. But also, if you want the higher marks, you're going to have to add in more. So for your tax deduction, this might be an area up here where you're going to talk like deductions based upon benefits, such as healthcare, dental, vacation pay. You're going to add all these in. So you might have to do the research to find what other things might be on a payroll spreadsheet. Before we wrap up, I just got two little questions here. So which of the following is not on a payroll spreadsheet? So we have employee name, address, wage, and hours worked. Well, you need to know how many hours worked, so that's not it. The employee name has to be on there because we got to figure out who's getting paid. And so wage, we need to know how much they make an hour. So that's going to be on there. So the address is usually not on a payroll spreadsheet because the address isn't needed. You don't need to know where somebody is to technically figure out how much they worked. And it's probably in the system, but it's not going to be on the spreadsheet. So what use would a payroll spreadsheet be for companies such as Walmart? So think about it. Why would Walmart want something like this? Well, Walmart would want this to document their stuff. They want to know who's getting paid how much, who's worked so much, how many hours have this person worked, and then that way they can pay them that amount, but also have records of this in case there's an accident. So therefore, everything we just covered in this lesson here will be useful for you when you look at payroll systems and create your own. So you're going to be making a payroll system that uses the formulas that you've discussed about previous classes and incorporating them into your program.